Hello guys, welcome back to Coniferia. Now in today's episode we are gonna build a ton of additional housing and hopefully increase the population by quite a bit. But before we get to that, I've got two quick things to follow up on. As you guys can see, the old 1970s buildings here that we voted to replace with a theater and arts complex has now been demolished, and the city is just about ready to start building the theater and arts complex. So that should be really exciting. Thank you guys so much for participating in the vote. If we move over here, you guys have also really been participating and discussing the vote of this park and the future of it. And it was a really close vote, as you can see here on the screen. But overall, the decision has now been made. The city has put this really nice plot of land central in downtown up for sale. So what do we need to do now? Well, we need to listen to proposals. So if you're an investor, a developer, or something else entirely, and you can't wait to get your hands on this plot of land, then write your suggestion in a comment below this episode, and we'll pick some of the coolest ones and we'll have a vote on the channel and start building it. Thanks in advance for anyone wanting to write suggestions. Now, as I said in the beginning, we need to fix our population issue. Now, as you guys can see, population has sort of stabilized just above 9,000 inhabitants, and with stabilized, I mean there aren't major fluctuations, but generally it's in a downwards trend. And as you guys can see, we're gonna dip into the 8,000s here in just a few moments. Now, it's okay with some minor fluctuations, but our greatest issue right now are the demographics of the region, because as you guys can see, almost half of all inhabitants are now classified as seniors, and deaths per week are slowly, they're outpacing births per week. And I know it just changed to the opposite, but I mean the general trend is downwards spiral, right? Now, there is nothing wrong with seniors. They've worked hard all their lives and they deserve a good retirement now. But the issue is that this number is really high. We're gonna see some massive death waves in the region. And I mean, we have so many jobs available compared to the employable part of the population right now. There are just too few hands to take all the jobs. So we're gonna need to reverse this, and we're gonna need to have a much more diverse and mixed demographic age-wise. And to do that, we're gonna have to build some new areas. As you guys can see, we have an absolutely insane residential demand as well. So we're gonna see if we can satisfy some of that demand in this episode. But yeah, we'll probably have to devote several episodes just to fixing this issue. But we'll start with this one for now. So I think there's nothing more to say than let's just go. And there you go, we dipped below 9,000. Ouch. Okay, let's get building. Alright guys, welcome back. So we've been building quite a bit of stuff here in Tagfield, expanding the little town, and I haven't hit play yet, so these are the stats that we went into this with. So the population had sort of stabilized at around mid 600s, but it was slowly dropping, and one of the reasons is that Tagfield is, it's an area of the region that has the highest concentration of seniors relative to the rest of the population. So it's a really crazy demographic here in the city, right? As you guys can see, much more than half of all citizens here in Tagfield are seniors, which is crazy. So it'll be interesting to see what the outcome of what we've added will be. So if we hit play, then we can compare before and after. So yeah, I'm just gonna hit play and put this to, let's just put it to 85. I like to have a bit of a slower simulation speed than 100%. Okay, so first up, we built this residential complex here. These are pretty affordable apartments, and they're pretty decent place to live as well. Just a super simple setup with some pavement decals, a bit of random fences and some small bushes, and then of course some parking. As you guys saw here at the end, I copy pasted it over here as well, because I thought, let's get even more people in here. I think it looks pretty good from afar as well, this area. As you might see as well, I had to adjust the population with the realistic population mod because it was 3 households. And I think the way the mod has calculated that is that the actual footprint of these buildings isn't that big. It's like 2 by 4, I think, and then it's 3 stories tall, and then the mod sort of calculates that, well, that would be 3 households. But I think there are many more households here, so I put them to 16 here. Which I think is much more realistic if there are some smaller apartments, which I think there'd be in a complex like this. 16 might be a bit too much, I'm not sure. Went the same with these because they sort of have the same size, but I think 16 apartments in total for each of these buildings is pretty realistic. Besides that, it was just some cookie cutter residential expansion. As you guys can see, it's quite steep here. The gradient is quite steep, so I'm just gonna, you know my style, I'm just gonna cover it up a bit. So yeah, as we can see, quite a population bump so far. So let's just put some real speed on this and see where we. So wow. So we've already added more than 400 new inhabitants here to Tagfield. And lots of those are adults, and quite a few young adults as well, which is really nice. It's balancing out the demographic makeup of Tagfield much better. So let's get back to Tagfield in later and see how it all pans out. I think for now we're just gonna continue building a bit. Yeah. Alright guys, next up an expansion. A lot of copy pasting here in the district of Washington Park. As you can see, it's got a bit of a weird outline, but it's just to probably track the progress we've made. So these are the before stats, 388 population, and the demographics are definitely not as bad as was the case up in Tagfield, but not great either. And the senior population has been growing steadily. Yeah, let's just, so we are at 388. Let's hit play and see some people move in. So basically what I did was I copy pasted so that we got an additional layer of these pretty nice modern apartment complex, which is of course at quite a bit of population. And then over here I built this set of row houses, which I think looks really cool. They have sort of a fungus 60s 70s style even. So I copy pasted them twice so that we got another full row here. And then here I just wanted to kind of mix it up a bit, so I removed some of the row houses so that it breaks it up a bit. But yeah, let's see what's happening. We were at 388, so let's just see what will happen. Get some people to move in. We're seeing the adult population rising due to the additional housing units we've placed here. And yeah, it's soon grown with at least 100 inhabitants in just a few moments. So yeah, really interesting, and the overall growth is really great. We've added at least about 800 population now. Let's go check in Tagfield. As we can see, we're actually more than doubled the amount of inhabitants in Tagfield, which is really fantastic. We have nowhere near satisfied our residential demand. That's gonna take some more because we have an abundance of jobs basically, which is of course pretty nice. So we've crossed the 500 mark. Really nice. I think one last thing to do in this episode is to get some public transport out here to Washington Park. Generally, I'll just slow down the game a bit. As you guys know, we only have a single bus line so far. This blue line that cuts through downtown and then follows this primary avenue out to Tagfield. It sees a lot of ridership, and it's really a great way to start the bus route. There will be a link in the description for the episode where we started this. But yeah, it's about time that we connect Washington Park up as well. We'll have many more bus routes, but let's start with adding one more in this episode, where we're gonna have some of the same stops, I think, be shared, and then we're just gonna branch out so that we start covering some of the western parts of the city of Pine Harbour. So yeah, let's go. Our route will start here at our bus hop, our tiny bus hop in downtown Pine Harbour. Some of you have already been so kind to tell me that it's probably a little too small, and yeah, I know, but I mean, it was just so much fun to build. We'll have to fix this. We'll have to make a bigger bus hop in the near future. But for now, let's just get our second bus route up. So do I have this selected? I do. So let's see, we would like the bus route to go westwards to Washington Park, but also serve some of the western suburbs and Danton. So the question is if we actually need two lines, one that follows this main avenue and has a few major stops or high volume stops basically. And then an additional line that's gonna cover some of the actual suburbs. I think that could be one way to go about it. Let's start with seeing if we can just establish like a general line, and then we'll see ridership, how much that helps. Guess we should just check traffic for a moment. Ooh, we're at 82%, 83%, so it's not great, and hasn't really been improved all that much by adding buses, because there are some more there are just some more general traffic issues right now in the city that will need to be resolved. Buses can't fix all of it. We'll get to that later. Later. Let's pick this route and start mapping out. So I would like to just share the stops in here. Because we've already got some nice stops, right? So let's just share this and this. And then we have to turn left here. So we've got this major intersection here, where this south-north running avenue intersects with this east-west running avenue. So let's just see how frequent do us. So currently there are 2 stops sort of within the city limits on this one. So I think if we kind of use the same distance, then we would need a stop here. We would need a stop here. Do we need, yeah, we would need a stop here as well, and then somewhere in Washington Park. Whoa. Now why would it want to never mind. Yeah, it's probably not gonna do that. It's just gonna tell me it's gonna do that. It's a little weird. Let's see, maybe this stop needs to be a little sooner. So around here. And I was actually considering like a stop in here as well. But we're gonna start here, I think. There you go. And then we need a stop out here in Danton. And I'm pretty confident that the people of Danton are gonna look forward to getting a stop in their lovely little town. We'll just add a stop here, and oh, that's gonna be weird. But that's not gonna be necessary either, because it's the final stop. We don't want or need to. We'll add one here, and yeah, let's just get this route back to downtown. Stop here as well. So I think this is gonna be red line or something like that. Adding all these stops, and then we get a completed line. There you go. Okay, so let's see. We get the Tagfield to downtown, and it's let's just get some information about it. Choosing these the E200 MMC, so I think I'm gonna use the same one for the other line, which is gonna be Danton to downtown. So yeah, really simple naming for now. And we're gonna go with the same type of bus. This one. 20 stops though, so the question of course is how many vehicles? 13. If I've learned my lesson from the previous episode, I shouldn't have too few vehicles. I think we're gonna start with, let's start with 11. I know we have 12 buses on the other line, so let's just start with 11 and see if we can travel along the way. Or rather, let's just get some initial statistics on the, could I change the color of the line? I would really love to. There you go. Cool, so let's see. We'll just let the game run for a bit, and then we'll check up on how it's doing. Oh man, how nice is this? Finally an additional bus route. This one is the red one. And as you guys see, or saw, it stretches all the way out here to Danton. Serves with the really central stop. Not sure why I added this, because as we discussed, there's only a single stop out here. Because there's no need for 2 stops, because it's the final stop basically. Yeah, let's just fix this up. That's a bit odd. And I like that there's a bit of asymmetry here by only having a single stop. That's perfectly fine. What am I looking for? Oh, it's here, sorry. Let's just remove some of these lines, clean this up a bit. There you go. And I placed this prop as well, which should be removed. And this, there you go. So finally, an additional bus line serving Danton, and let's see, do we have some riders on board? Well, we've got 4. So nothing fantastic going into the city of Pine Harbour yet, but hopefully it should be better, right? And we're gonna expand Danton probably, and we're also gonna build much more stuff out this way. We're just getting started, I think. Washington Park, let's follow up. So the area still seems to be growing, and it's grown quite a bit with our expansions. I mean, that's more than 30%, I think, growth. So that's really nice. And I also think that for the effort, it was a copy-paste job. Then for the amount of effort, it actually looks pretty nice, and I like the way this turned out as well. But yeah, we've got this thing going where bus stops look like this on avenues. We might change that up. But I like something that looks a bit unique. I haven't really seen this type of marking anywhere else. Really busy, active stop here on this primary avenue leading into downtown Pine Harbour. And there are tons of people here, which is really nice to see. How is our little hub holding up? It's holding up okay, actually. Let's just speed it up and see if we've got some congestion here. It's not bad, actually. It looks pretty cool, if you ask me. Anyways, that's it for this episode. So we got quite a bit built, and we're actually, the region is still growing, and we've now surpassed 10,000 population, which is really cool. And we've still got a really large amount of seniors, so we're gonna have to continue expanding and building. But that's just the name of the game, right? And that's what also makes it fun. As I said, proposals for this park, really looking forward to what you guys got. I know you're also creative, so yeah, it's gonna be really exciting. Other than that, thank you guys so much for liking, subscribing, commenting, all that good YouTube stuff. I really do appreciate it. A big shout out to the recent patrons as well. I think I've got 6 patrons in the last week or so, which is insane. But yeah, thank you all so much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Yeah, have a really nice weekend. Bye.